Smartphones are no different to any other camera. They all need light to function effectively. Having made sure that your lighting is adequate, the next step should be to secure your set. Make sure all ambient noises are cut off and you're free from distractions. When you're ready to shoot, keeping the camera stable can be a challenge, so tripod adapters are highly recommended, and they're available for all models of phones. They enable consistent and smooth camera movement. If you don't have access to a camera adapter, then get creative. An office chair does a pretty good job of panning, but your main motivation will always be to keep the camera as still and as steady as possible. A great way of achieving this is making a paperclip stand for your phone. The stand will keep your phone absolutely stable, as well as tilt it slightly upwards. Having the camera tilted upwards offers a few advantages. You can see here on the right, without the stand, my subject is not centered at all, and we're missing all the action. The tilt of the stand allows me to center my subject easily, and also opens the lens to more light. It's also 100% stable. If you must do handheld shots, try to avoid too much movement. A lot of people make the mistake of looking at the center of the frame when they're recording. This is really misleading because you don't notice how much the camera is moving around, and you'll end up with something like Blair Witch. Look at the edge of the frame rather. It'll give you a much better idea of how much movement you have. But a better idea is always to find a stable surface. Get a friend to hit the record button, and make sure your subject is centered. This way, you end up with something that is much easier to watch, and your hands are free to use in your video and to illustrate your point. For overhead shots, the edge of a table is a really good alternative to mounting on a cereal box, which tends to get itself in the frame. Of course, the underside of a table isn't the brightest place on earth, so you've still got to make sure your lighting is good. Always a better idea than moving the camera itself is moving your subjects towards the camera. This allows you to avoid having a bouncy shot, but also gives the camera time to adjust focus. Shooting outdoors, of course, has its own challenges, but one thing you generally won't have to worry about is lighting. Smartphone cameras are usually optimized for shooting in sunlight, and your main concern will be location. If possible, try to avoid busy areas, because people walking through your set or making loud noises will have you reshooting all day. It's always better to find a quiet location, with nice, even lighting. The most important thing to keep in mind when filming with a smartphone is to recognize its limitations. If you don't have a tripod, keep the camera movement to a minimum. Make sure your lighting is good, and pay close attention to your framing. Good luck out there.